I can't believe we finally made it, I said, brushing imaginary lint off my sleeve as we stepped into the hall. The lights shimmered like stars, golden and overwhelming, and I felt my chest tighten with excitement. This is everything I imagined. Lena smiled, just a little too casually. Yeah. It's nice. She didn't look at me. Her gaze drifted across the room, and I felt that strange pang of unease. I nudged her gently. You okay? You seem distracted. She turned to me, offering a fleeting smile that didn't reach her eyes. I'm fine. Really? Just, a lot of people tonight, you know. I followed her eyes, and that's when I saw him. Damien. He leaned against the bar, charming in that effortless way that made heads turn. When he smiled, it was like the room shifted around him, and I felt my stomach twist. Lena's eyes were fixed on him, laughing at something he said, her hand brushing against his arm. I cleared my throat. Lena. She looked at me, startled. What? Nothing. Just, can we stick together tonight? I tried to keep my voice light, but it caught somewhere in my throat. Of course, she said, but she didn't take my hand. She let it hang at her side like a forgotten thought. I swallowed hard. You know, you don't have to laugh so loudly at his jokes. I can hear you. My attempt at humor fell flat. She tilted her head, her smile faint but polite. I'm just talking. That's all. Don't be jealous. Jealous? No. Not jealous. Hurt. My chest tightened, and I forced a smile I hoped she couldn't see through. Not jealous. Just, surprised, I guess. Her laugh tinkled again, but it felt different this time. Hollow. I wanted to step closer, put a hand on her shoulder, but she leaned away. I'll grab us some drinks, she said suddenly, spinning toward the bar. Wait here. I froze. Wait here. My heart sank. Lena, don't go. I'll be right back, she called over her shoulder, already walking toward Damien. I clenched my fists. She's leaving me, I muttered under my breath. I tried to shake it off, reminding myself it was just a party. I could handle this. I walked toward the buffet table, telling myself I was fine, but every laugh she gave Damien felt like a punch in the gut. Hey there, you made it. Damien greeted her, and she leaned in, laughing, like she had forgotten I even existed. I couldn't hold it anymore. I stepped forward, my voice low but sharp. Lena, seriously. What are you doing? She turned, a flicker of surprise crossing her face. I'm just talking to a friend. Relax. Damien raised an eyebrow, amused, clearly enjoying the drama. Everything okay? Yeah, I said through gritted teeth. Everything's fine. Lena laughed nervously. See? Nothing to worry about. I wanted to argue, to pull her aside, to make her see the hurt in my eyes, but she didn't look at me. Her attention was elsewhere. Every second she stayed with him, the room felt smaller, my chest tighter. I leaned against the wall, trying to breathe. Maybe I imagined it, I whispered to myself, but I knew I hadn't. A waiter passed with champagne, and Lena raised a glass to Damien. I caught the briefest glance from her, like a secret shared between them, and I felt my stomach drop. I muttered under my breath, I'm not enough. I'm not enough for her. I wanted to call out, to demand she come back, but the words lodged in my throat. Instead, I watched as she stepped closer to Damien, her hand brushing his arm again, laughter spilling over like it belonged to someone else. I swallowed hard, forcing my jaw to unclench. Stay calm. Stay calm, I told myself, repeating it like a mantra. But the truth was undeniable. She had left me at the party, without a word, without hesitation. My perfect night, the one I had dreamed about, had turned into a silent betrayal. I sank onto a nearby chair, staring at the glittering crowd, trying not to feel my world shatter around me. And yet, even as pain twisted in my chest, a part of me, quiet, cold, and sharp, started to awaken. This wasn't over. Not by a long shot. I woke up to silence, the kind that presses against your chest and won't let go. The memory of last night hit me like a punch, Lena laughing with Damien, leaning into him, leaving me behind. I ran a hand through my hair and muttered, how could I have been so blind? She appeared in the doorway, hair still slightly messy, eyes pretending to be casual. Morning, she said, voice light. I sat up sharply. Morning. Is that all you have to say after last night? She blinked. What do you mean? I felt heat rise in my chest. Don't play dumb, Lena. You left me at the party. You spent the night laughing with him. She frowned. Damien? That's ridiculous. He's just a friend. We were talking, that's all. Just a friend. I laughed bitterly, the sound harsh even to my own ears. You were holding his arm, Lena. You were smiling at him like he was the only person in the room. Did you forget I was there? I didn't mean, her voice faltered. I wasn't thinking. I shook my head. Not thinking. You call that not thinking? I saw it all, Lena. Every single thing. She looked down, biting her lip. I didn't want to hurt you. Her words trailed off, but the guilt in her eyes said more than she could speak. I felt my stomach twist. Just what? That you wanted attention. That you wanted someone richer. Someone better. No. That's not it, she protested. I swear, it's not what you think. I stood up, pacing, trying to calm the storm inside me. Then explain it. Please. Because right now, it looks like you've already decided I'm not enough. I didn't decide anything, she said, her voice cracking. I don't know why I acted like that. I was stupid. I shouldn't have laughed so much, Stupid? I snapped. You think that makes it okay? Stupid? Lena, I trusted you. I planned our life together, and you treated me like I was invisible. Her eyes filled with tears. I didn't mean to. I threw my hands up. Do you even realize how it feels? Watching the person you love gravitate toward someone else like you don't even exist. Do you have any idea? She flinched. I know I messed up. I was wrong. I don't want to lose you. I should be angry enough to walk out that door, I muttered, pacing again. I should, but I can't. Not yet. Lena stepped closer. Please, just hear me out. I swear, nothing happened. He's just charming, yes, but it didn't mean anything. You're the one I love. Her words should have comforted me, but they didn't. Every fiber in me wanted to scream, to throw something, to hit him, to hit her, but mostly, I wanted to cry. I sat back down, burying my face in my hands. I thought about Sam. He'd tell me straight. No nonsense. I needed someone to remind me I wasn't crazy for feeling this way. Hey, Lena whispered, sitting beside me. Talk to me. Please. I looked up at her, my eyes burning. I don't know if I can trust you. I want to, I do, but last night, you shattered everything I believed about us. I know, she admitted softly. And I hate myself for it. I promise, I'll make it right. Please, just don't walk away. I shook my head slowly, staring at the floor. I want to believe you, Lena. I really do. But I can't help thinking, what else have I missed? What else was I blind to? She hesitated, then said, nothing. I swear. I only ever cared about you. I nodded, not sure if I believed her. The suspicion was already there, planted like a seed, growing in the corners of my mind. Fine, I whispered. We'll talk later. But right now. I just need to think. She nodded, giving me a tentative smile, but it didn't reach her eyes. I watched her leave the room, guilt heavy in her steps, and I knew this wasn't over. Not even close. And deep down, I realized something terrifying. I couldn't just ignore it. Not this time. I was sipping my coffee when I saw her. Lena, sitting on the couch, phone in hand, fingers flying across the screen. The look on her face, soft, eager, the way her eyes lit up, made my stomach twist. I knew. I just knew. Who are you texting? I asked, trying to keep my voice casual, though it sounded anything but. She looked up, startled. Oh, no one. Just a friend. I leaned back in my chair, pretending to scroll through my own phone. A friend, huh? Funny, you've been smiling at that friend a lot lately. She hesitated, then laughed nervously. It's nothing. Seriously. Stop reading into things. I let a small smirk creep onto my face. Maybe I am reading into things, because I've noticed patterns. Like ignoring me to stare at your screen. Her eyes flicked down. I could see the tension tightening in her jaw. I didn't think you'd notice. Notice? I scoffed. Lena, I've been noticing everything. Last week, the party, Damien, and now this. My words were quiet, deliberate, but they cut through the room like glass. She looked away, biting her lip. I didn't want to hurt you. I held up a hand. Save it. I'm not saying anything right now. I'm watching. That's all. I need to see for myself who you really are. Her fingers trembled over the screen. You don't trust me. I shook my head slowly. Trust? Maybe I did. But last night, I realized I can't afford to be blind anymore. She looked like she wanted to protest, but she didn't. Instead, Rachel appeared at the doorway, leaning casually with her arms crossed. Morning, Lena, Rachel said, smiling too easily. She glanced at me, eyes sharp. And you must be the lucky guy. I stood, forcing a calm tone. I'm not sure I feel very lucky right now. Rachel shrugged, as if that was normal. People make mistakes. Friends get distracted. It's life. Distracted? I asked, my voice tight. By Damien? Rachel's eyes flicked toward Lena, and she said carefully, I think you should ask her yourself. I just advise caution. I raised an eyebrow. Caution. Some truths are hard to hear, Rachel said softly. Then she left, leaving a chill in her wake. I turned back to Lena, my fists clenching. What was that all about? Nothing, she said, avoiding my gaze. I took a slow breath. No, it's not nothing. I saw the way you smiled at him, Lena. I saw the way you're always checking your phone. I'm done pretending I don't notice. She flinched. I don't know what you want me to say. I want the truth, I said, voice steady. Who is Damien to you? And what are you planning? She opened her mouth, then closed it. I'm not planning anything. We talk. That's all. I leaned closer, lowering my voice. Do you know what it feels like to be invisible to the person you love? To know they're lying to you without ever saying the words. Her hands trembled. I didn't lie. I just what? I snapped. Just wanted attention. Just wanted something you don't think I can give. She stared at me, tears brimming. No. That's not it. I can't explain. I shook my head and stepped back. Fine. Keep your secrets. Keep messaging him. I'm done being humiliated, quietly. I'll watch, and I'll decide what comes next. I'm not the fool here anymore. She opened her mouth, but I held up a hand. Don't. Save your words. Right now, I'm observing. And I'll act when I know exactly how far this goes. She sank into the couch, silent. I could see the fear now, the tiny cracks in her composure. It gave me an unfamiliar thrill, a sense of control I hadn't felt in months. I grabbed my keys. I need to see Sam. Talk this through. I can't deal with this alone. She looked up, desperation in her eyes. Please, don't leave. I smiled faintly, almost cruelly. I'm not leaving, just taking a step back. I need to think. And I need to plan. Because I'm not letting anyone humiliate me anymore. As I walked out, I felt something shift inside me, a resolve hardening, cold and sharp. I wasn't just going to watch anymore. I would decide the rules, and she would learn what it means to cross me. This was my turning point. I stopped calling. I stopped texting. I stopped pretending nothing was wrong. Instead, I gave her silence. Cold, calculated, untouchable silence. She noticed immediately. Lena's eyes flicked toward me in every room, searching for some spark of attention. But I turned my head, scrolled through my phone, pretended she was invisible. Finally, she confronted me. Why are you acting like this? I didn't look up. Like what? You know, like you don't care. Like nothing matters to you anymore. Her voice trembled. I finally met her gaze, slow and deliberate. Maybe I don't. Maybe I care too much to watch someone I love throw it away. Her fingers twisted nervously. I don't know what you mean. You do, I said. I've noticed everything. The messages, the smiles, the way your eyes linger on him. Lies, she whispered. I shook my head. No. Observations, Lena. I don't lie. I just record. And sometimes, I let people show their true selves without interference. Her lips parted, like she wanted to argue but didn't. You can't just act like this and expect me to. Expect you to what? I interrupted, voice calm but sharp. Apologize? Beg? I'm done waiting for someone else to realize what they've lost. She stepped back, startled. You're serious? Deadly serious. She ran her fingers through her hair. I thought you'd never notice. I thought I could. Could what? Cheat and get away with it? I asked, letting the words hang. No. She stopped, unsure. I smirked faintly. Good. Then you see it now. I'm not blind. Not anymore. She swallowed hard. So, what now? I leaned closer. Now, we watch. I let you make mistakes while I gather the proof. I let you see the consequences of your actions in real time. And I act when the time is right. Her eyes widened. You'll, what? You'll expose me? Not yet, I said, letting the edge of a smile show. Timing is everything. And right now, patience is my weapon. She trembled. I didn't think. You underestimated me, I interrupted. That's the first mistake. Remember it. Later, I ran into Damien. He was laughing in the lobby, charming and careless, like the world owed him smiles. Beside him was Ethan, his business associate, tall and professional. Hey there, Damien said, noticing me. You look serious. Just watching, I replied. Ethan raised an eyebrow. Watching what? Life, I said lightly, letting the words sit like a challenge. Damien laughed. Always cryptic. You're too intense. Maybe, I said, and walked away, careful to glance back at Lena. She was entering the room, her gaze catching mine for a fleeting moment, wide and unsure. She realized I was observing everything, and I saw the sudden shift, fear, panic, recognition. She thought she could manipulate him, and charm me at the same time. But she had miscalculated. When I found her later in the kitchen, she tried to smile. I wanted to talk. I leaned against the counter, arms crossed. About us. About last night. Stop, I said sharply. No explanations. No excuses. Just know this, I'm watching. And I'll act when I see the right moment. Until then, you'll feel my absence. Her eyes darted around, searching for some hint of softness. You can't. I thought you'd just, forgive me. I chuckled quietly. Forgive? Maybe someday. Not yet. Right now, I'm taking control. And you're going to realize, you can't control me anymore. Not in my life. She looked down, swallowing. I didn't know. I didn't think. You underestimated me, I said again, letting the words echo. Twice. Once, with the party. Twice, with Damien. Don't let it happen a third time. Her hand hovered over her phone, like she wanted to check messages. I stepped slightly closer, voice low. And for the record. I see every text, every call, every smile. I'm not invisible, Lena. You've crossed lines you won't cross with me again. She nodded, trembling. I understand. Good. I let her stew in that understanding. The seed of fear was planted. When I met Sam later, I explained nothing. I just said, I'm letting her play her own hand. Sam raised an eyebrow. You sure you're not letting anger blind you? Not anger, I said. Control. Observation. Timing. That's all that matters. He shook his head, smirking. You're diving into dangerous waters. Just, don't get caught. I won't, I said with quiet confidence. I'm not going to be the fool in this story. Not again. Back at my apartment, I watched Lena through the window as she talked to Damien on the balcony. Her laughter, her gestures, everything, it was all recorded in my mind. Every move she made, every slip, I catalogued. She thought she had the upper hand, but she was learning the hard way. And deep down, I felt it, the thrill of control, the anticipation of seeing the pieces fall exactly where I wanted. This was just the beginning. I watched from the corner of the balcony, my phone in hand, Lena laughing as she leaned closer to Damien. Every tilt of her head, every sparkle in her eyes, every careless smile, I recorded it all in my mind. When Damien excused himself for a phone call, I saw my moment. I tapped a few keys and sent him the evidence, screenshots, timestamps, and everything she thought I'd never notice. Within minutes, he returned, storming toward her with a face I had never seen before. Anger radiated from him, sharp and heavy, and I felt a surge of something unfamiliar, triumph. What is this? Damien's voice cut through the warm night air. His hands held the phone between us like a weapon. Lena froze. Damien. You lied to me. His tone was almost inhuman, jagged with betrayal. I trusted you. I didn't, she stammered, her fingers trembling. Didn't what? His eyes were wild, searching hers for answers. Didn't cheat. Didn't flirt. Didn't hide messages from me. I didn't mean to hurt you, she cried. You didn't mean to, he shouted, taking a step closer. You think that excuses months of deception? I stayed silent, leaning against the railing, letting her panic play out. Her face drained of color, eyes wide as if she could suddenly see the consequences she'd ignored. Please, Damien. I can explain, she begged, reaching toward him. He pulled back instinctively. Explain? How could you explain this? You wanted him, didn't you? Him, over me? I saw her lips tremble, the color leaving her face. No. I didn't know what I wanted. You didn't know what you wanted? His laugh was bitter, hollow. You didn't know what you wanted, but you knew exactly how to manipulate me. She collapsed onto the bench, hands clutching her face. I'm sorry. Please. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I felt the cold satisfaction of control settle over me. She wasn't invincible. She was panicked. Vulnerable. Human. And for the first time, she had to feel the weight of her choices. Damien's voice softened slightly, edged with pain. I thought you were different. But you're just like everyone else chasing something shiny and new. She looked up, tears streaming. No. Damien, please. I stepped forward slowly, voice low, deliberate. Maybe now you see. Maybe now you understand what it feels like to be left in the dark, betrayed, humiliated. She turned to me, panic and pleading in her eyes. I never meant to hurt you. Please. I'll do anything. I let a small smirk cross my face. Anything? Yes. Anything. I'll make it right. I shook my head. It's too late for that, Lena. Too late for excuses. Too late for lies. You made your choices. Her knees buckled as she sank lower. Please, don't leave me. Don't do this. I need you. I felt no rush to comfort her. Instead, I watched her desperation unfold, each word, each tear, each trembling hand. She realized she was losing control, and the sight was intoxicating. Damien turned his back to her, running a hand through his hair, his chest rising and falling with restrained fury. I can't believe I didn't see it sooner. I trusted you completely. I know, she whispered, voice cracking. I know. I didn't move. I didn't speak. I let silence stretch, heavy and suffocating, making her guilt almost tangible. You can't just stand there and let me, she began, voice shaking. I'm not standing here to help, I said softly. I'm standing here to show you that actions have consequences. You wanted freedom, excitement, attention. Now you see what happens when you betray trust. Her hands fell to her lap. I never realized. Now you know, I interrupted gently. And next time, maybe you'll think twice. She looked at me then, vulnerability laid bare, and I saw fear and regret in ways I'd never seen before. She wasn't untouchable. She wasn't above the consequences. Damien's voice finally softened, though it still carried hurt. I can't do this anymore. I need time. I need distance. I'll give you that, I said quietly, feeling the final thread of control settle firmly in my hands. Lena's eyes pleaded with me, but I stepped back, letting her desperation simmer. I'm done being humiliated. Don't expect me to fix what you broke. She tried to speak, but the words failed her. And for the first time, I felt the power of patience, observation, and timing. My revenge wasn't loud, but it was absolute. She had underestimated me. She had no idea what was coming next. And I smiled quietly, savoring the moment. I watched the news feed blink across my laptop screen, Damien's empire unraveling faster than anyone could imagine. Headlines screamed scandal, fraud, betrayal. Every detail, meticulously timed, anonymous, but orchestrated. And I let it happen. Lena appeared behind me, silent at first. Her face was pale, eyes wide as she read the same headlines I had already memorized. This can't be real," she whispered. I didn't answer immediately. I let her panic unfold. "Looks pretty real to me," I said finally, voice calm, almost detached. She turned to me, desperation in her eyes. You didn't." "I had nothing to do with it," I said lightly, leaning back. "Just, fate, I guess." Her lips trembled. "Fate?" "Damien, everything, he trusted me." I kept my gaze steady. "And yet, here we are. You see what happens when trust is misplaced." She sank into a chair, head in her hands. I can't believe it. Everything's gone." I pulled my chair closer, voice quiet but cutting. "Everything you built, everything you thought mattered, crumbling overnight. And you didn't even see it coming. Not Damien, not me, just you." Tears slipped down her cheeks. I never meant to hurt anyone. You just what?" I asked, letting the words hang in the air like glass. "Played with people's lives like they were toys. I was naive. I didn't know." Naive?" I repeated. "You knew exactly what you were doing. You wanted attention, power, excitement. And now, look where it got you." She looked up, eyes pleading. "Please." I'm sorry. I never wanted to lose you, either." I closed my eyes briefly, feeling the strange mix of satisfaction and emptiness. "You lost more than me, Lena. And yet, here you are, begging. Funny how life works, isn't it?" Sam appeared then, voice low but firm. "You need to stop, man. You're crossing a line." I glanced at him. Crossing a line? She broke every line there was. I just followed through. Followed through. Sam shook his head. "This isn't victory. It's obsession. You're letting revenge consume you." I felt a tightness in my chest, but my expression didn't change. "Maybe. But it's satisfaction, too. A lesson she needed to learn." "Lessons don't require ruining lives," Sam said quietly. "You're better than this." I turned to him, voice low. Am I? Or am I finally protecting myself? Clara appeared then, Sam's sister, calm but sharp. "Protecting yourself doesn't mean destroying someone else, even if they deserved it. You risk losing yourself in this, and I don't think you'll even notice until it's too late." I looked at her, considering her words. I just wanted her to understand. To feel what I felt. Is that wrong? She shook her head. Not wrong. But there's a difference between justice and vengeance. And right now, you're standing on the wrong side of it. I swallowed hard. The words settled in, heavy and uncomfortable, but my gaze flicked to Lena, crumpled in the chair, guilt and fear etched into her face. I can't undo it, I whispered, more to myself than anyone else. And she has to face it. Lena looked up, her voice raw. I understand if you hate me. I need you to know. I never wanted it to end like this. I shook my head slowly, voice softening. Hate you? Maybe once. But now? I don't know. I feel power, yes. But also, sadness. You were my world, Lena. And I let this happen. Her tears flowed freely now. Please, tell me there's a way back. Please, tell me I can fix this. I couldn't. Some things can't be fixed. You'll have to live with your choices. And so will I. Sam placed a hand on my shoulder. See? That's what I mean. Don't lose yourself in her mistakes. You're better than the pain she caused. Clara added softly, and remember, love isn't revenge. Don't let it become that, or you'll regret it too. I nodded, letting their words sink in, though a part of me resisted. I still felt that thrill, the control, the knowledge, the quiet triumph. But mingled with it was guilt, sadness, and the lingering ache of love I couldn't just erase. Lena whispered, voice barely audible. I'll do anything. Anything to make it right, to make you forgive me. I stared at her, and for the first time, I saw the full depth of her desperation. Vulnerable. Broken. Human. And I realized, the power I held was intoxicating, but it came at a cost. I turned away, letting silence stretch between us, letting her understand the weight of everything. Some things can't be fixed. Some people can't be trusted. Remember that. Her sobs filled the room, and I felt the cold satisfaction, mixed with a strange sorrow that I couldn't quite shake. Revenge tasted sweet, but it also left a bitter aftertaste. And for the first time, I wondered if it had all been worth it. Lena was on her knees, hands clasped like she was begging for something more than mercy, begging for my forgiveness. Her voice trembled, raw and desperate. Please. I know I don't deserve this, but I can't. I can't lose you. Not like this. I sat across from her, leaning against the edge of the table, silent. I wanted to speak, to yell, to tell her she had no right, but the truth was, I didn't know what I wanted either. You hurt me more than I can explain, I finally said, voice low. You humiliated me, lied to me, played with my trust like it was nothing. How do you think that feels? Her eyes brimmed with tears. I know. I see it now. Every mistake, every lie, it was mine. I don't know how to fix it, but I know I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry, I repeated, letting the word hang. Is that all you can say? After everything? No, she cried, voice cracking. It's not enough, I know. I've lost you. I've lost myself. But I can't stop trying. Please, let me try to make this right. I shook my head slowly. Try. Do you think anything you do now will erase what you've done? Her lips quivered. Maybe not. But, maybe it can show you I've changed. That I'm not the same person who made all those mistakes. Change, I said, leaning forward. Do you even understand the damage you caused? I trusted you completely. I loved you like nobody else. And you tossed it aside for attention, for him, for, what? Money? Charm? I was foolish, she admitted, eyes dropping. I wanted to feel wanted. I wanted to feel special. But I didn't think about how it would hurt you. I never thought about you. You didn't think about me, I echoed bitterly. Not once. And you expect me to forgive you because, why? Because you realize now? Her hands shook as she reached toward me. I realized, and I can't take it back. But I can do better. I can. I can be better. Please give me a chance. Just one chance. I looked at her, really looked, and I saw something I hadn't before, genuine remorse. Not excuses. Not lies. Regret so deep it made her tremble. And something in me stirred. I don't know if I can, I admitted quietly. I don't know if I want to. Part of me wants to punish you. Wants to make you feel the emptiness you caused me. She flinched at my words. I'll bear it. Whatever you want. I'll accept it. Just, don't shut me out completely. I closed my eyes for a moment, letting my own anger and hurt settle around me. You broke me in ways you can't imagine. I still care. And that makes it worse. I feel torn, between letting you go and wanting to keep you. I don't know if I'm strong enough to forgive or cruel enough to punish. Then let me prove it, she whispered. Let me show you. I'll do whatever it takes to earn it back. I'll be patient, I'll wait. Just, don't give up on me yet. I wanted to. I wanted to walk away, close the door, and never look back. But her voice, the vulnerability in her eyes, it cut through the armor I had built around my heart. You realize this won't be easy? I asked, voice strained. Forgiveness isn't instant. Trust isn't instant. Everything you've broken, it takes time to repair. And I don't know if I can survive another betrayal. I know, she said, voice trembling but firm. And I'll do whatever it takes. I'm ready to face the consequences, the pain, everything. Just, let me try. I leaned back, silent again, letting her words sink in. Part of me screamed that this was dangerous, that opening myself up again could be catastrophic. Another part whispered that maybe, just maybe, people could change. That maybe love wasn't just about perfect moments, but about surviving the storms. Do you understand what I'm asking? She pressed, eyes searching mine. I do, I said slowly. And I'll think about it. But don't expect forgiveness to be easy. Or fast. Or painless. She nodded, tears still flowing, but there was something different now, resolve. Acceptance. She had seen the consequences, felt them, and now she was willing to face the aftermath. Thank you, she whispered. That's more than I deserve, but, thank you. I didn't respond immediately. I just watched her, feeling the weight of my own emotions, the lingering anger, the scarred pride, and the cautious flicker of hope that maybe we could find some semblance of what we once had. And in that quiet moment, I realized that this choice, whether to forgive or to leave, wasn't just about her. It was about me, my limits, my morality, and what I was willing to endure for love. The reckoning wasn't over. Not yet. But for the first time, I felt the possibility of something beyond revenge, beyond pain, beyond the past. Lena stood in front of me, trembling, eyes wide and desperate. Please, don't shut me out. I can't. I can't live like this, knowing I lost you. Please, just one chance. I looked at her, really looked, for the first time in days. The woman I loved, the woman who had betrayed me, who had laughed in Damien's face, who had crushed my trust, it was all there, in her pleading eyes. And yet, something had changed. She wasn't arrogant anymore. She was vulnerable. Human. Broken. I swallowed, my voice catching. I don't know if I can do this, Lena. Not after everything. Not after all the lies, the betrayal. I know, she interrupted, voice shaking. I know I hurt you, more than I can ever explain. I'm sorry. Every day, I've regretted it. I want to be better. I'll do anything to prove it. Anything? I asked, voice low, bitter. You want me to forget everything? Pretend it didn't happen? No, she cried, taking a step closer. I don't want you to forget. I want you to see that I'm different now. That I've changed. That I understand what I lost. Please. I'll wait, I'll prove it, You'll wait, I repeated slowly. And you'll prove it. But Lena. I'm not the same person either. I can't just go back to who I was before you broke me. I can't. Her hands fell to her sides. I understand. But I need to know if there's even a sliver of hope. Please, tell me. I paused, memories flashing in my mind, the party, the way she leaned into Damien's charm, the nights I spent sleepless, replaying her laughter with him in my head. The betrayal had cut me to the core, but somewhere beneath the pain, I found something stronger, my self-respect. My pride. My sense of what I deserved. Lena. I loved you. I still care about you. But love isn't enough anymore. Not if it destroys me in the process. Tears streamed down her face. I understand. I know I've caused this. But, can't we try? Just once. Just try to fix it. I shook my head slowly. No. I can't. I've realized something I didn't want to admit in the beginning. I can't give myself back to someone who didn't value it when they had the chance. I can't risk losing myself for you again. Her sobs grew louder, desperate. But I'm begging. Please. I'll change. I'll do whatever it takes. Don't leave me like this. You begged me before, I said quietly, voice steady. And I listened. I forgave you, in my own way. I gave you every chance to choose differently. And you didn't. You chose him. You chose deception. I won't be humiliated again. Not for anyone. She dropped to her knees, hands reaching toward me. I can't live without you. Please. I'll do anything. Anything. I looked down at her, seeing the brokenness in her form, and felt a pang, not of longing, but of understanding. She had consequences to face. She had to rebuild herself from the wreckage she'd made. I would no longer be the instrument of her redemption. I can't, I said again, firm this time. You need to face the choices you made. You need to rebuild without me. And maybe you'll learn. Maybe you'll understand what it means to truly value someone. But it won't be me. I won't be there. Her face crumpled, tears soaking her cheeks. No, please. I can't. You can, I interrupted gently. You will. And I hope it teaches you everything you need to know. But I can't stay. I've found something stronger, something that isn't about revenge or love or pain. It's me. And I deserve better than what you gave me. She looked up at me, eyes wide with disbelief, but also the faintest flicker of realization. You're leaving me. I'm not just leaving you, I said firmly. I'm taking myself back. I'm reclaiming my life, my peace, my worth. You'll survive this, Lena. You have to. But it won't be with me. Not anymore. She sank fully to the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. I don't know how to live without you. I knelt down briefly, close enough to see her face, but not to touch. You'll find a way. People survive what they think will destroy them. And maybe, just maybe, you'll emerge better. Stronger. Wiser. But it won't be me who saves you. It will be yourself. Silence fell between us, heavy and unbroken. I could feel the weight of everything, the heartbreak, the betrayal, the nights of pain, and the quiet victories. And in that silence, I felt the transformation complete, no more helplessness, no more desperation, no more compromise of my dignity. Finally, I stood, looking down at her one last time. Goodbye, Lena. Take care of yourself. And remember, your choices define you. She didn't speak. She only nodded, tears streaming, broken but alive. I walked away, heart heavy yet free, feeling the first real sense of self-respect in months. The chapter of pain, betrayal, and manipulation was over. What came next was mine to write. And for the first time in a long time, I smiled, not at anyone, not at revenge, not at love, but at me. Months had passed since that night, since the decision that changed everything. I used to wake up haunted by the memory of her pleading eyes, the raw desperation that had clung to my heart. Now, the memory lingered like a shadow, distant, softened by time, and by the strength I'd built from it. I was at my favorite cafe, sipping coffee while Sam sat across from me. "You look different," he said, a small smile tugging at his lips. "Different?" I asked, smirking faintly. "You mean less broken?" "Exactly that," he laughed. "You carry yourself lighter. More at ease. I didn't think you'd ever get here, honestly." I chuckled, glancing out the window. It wasn't easy. I wanted to go back, to fix everything, to pretend it never happened. But, pretending never works. You either survive it, or it destroys you. Sam nodded thoughtfully. "And you survived. More than that, you thrived. I can see it. You're free." "I am," I admitted quietly. "Free from what I thought love meant. Free from the need to prove myself to someone who didn't value me. Free from her." "Speaking of her," Sam said, lowering his voice, "any word?" I shook my head. "Not directly. But I've heard through the grapevine that she's changed. Humbled. Lost everything she thought would make her happy. I'm not going to lie, it feels satisfying. Karma, I guess." Sam smirked. "And you? Satisfied with yourself?" I took a deep breath. "I am. It took months to rebuild the trust in myself, to stop seeing my worth through someone else's eyes. But now, I see it. I know what I deserve. And I won't compromise it again." A memory flashed unbidden, her voice, trembling, "I'll do whatever it takes. Just don't give up on me yet." I shivered slightly, then smiled to myself. I hadn't given up, not on myself. Not anymore. Later that evening, I met Clara, Sam's sister, at her small gallery opening. She looked at me with her usual mix of curiosity and concern. "You look whole," she said softly. "I feel whole," I admitted, watching her paintbrush trace colors on canvas. "It's strange. I expected bitterness, emptiness. Instead, I feel capable. Stronger than I thought I could be." "Good," she said, smiling. "You needed to learn that strength isn't about revenge or hatred. It's about standing firm when everything tries to pull you under." I nodded. I did what I had to, yes. But not for revenge alone. It was about reclaiming myself. And now that I've done that, it's like the past finally has its place. It's gone, but not forgotten. And I'm better for it. A faint smile tugged at my lips. Funny thing. I think I even forgive her. Not for her sake, for mine. For letting go of the weight she never deserved to carry in my heart. Clara tilted her head. "That's wisdom, not weakness." I laughed softly. "Maybe. Or maybe it's just survival. Either way. I'm ready for the next chapter. And it doesn't include her." Later, I walked home through the park, leaves crunching beneath my shoes. A couple laughed nearby, oblivious to the world, and I felt peace. A subtle thrill of life, of possibility. I realized I could feel joy without fear, without past pain clawing at me. I thought of Rachel, of Ethan, of Damien, of Sam, all the people who had played roles in that chaos. Their lives had shifted too. Damien's empire was gone, yes, but I heard he'd started anew, humbled. Lena, she was rebuilding herself, learning lessons the hard way. Everyone had faced consequences, but I had faced mine differently, by reclaiming my heart and mind. Sitting on a park bench, I spoke aloud, though no one was there. I survived her betrayal. I survived the humiliation. I survived my own doubts. And now, I thrive. I'm not bound by her choices. I'm free because I chose me. A soft breeze carried a hint of autumn, brushing past me like a whisper of the past fading. I closed my eyes, letting the warmth of self-acceptance sink in. For the first time in months, I felt truly untethered. A phone buzzed. Sam, of course. Coffee tomorrow? I smiled, typing back, absolutely. See you then. And in that simple act, I realized something: moving on isn't just leaving the past, it's embracing what comes next, without fear, without regret, without her shadow looming over my heart. I took a deep breath, standing up, feeling the ground solid beneath me. The city light sparkled ahead, full of possibility. I was no longer a man defined by heartbreak, betrayal, or revenge. I was defined by strength, by choice, by survival. And as I walked toward the future, I whispered to no one, this is my life. My story. My happiness. And no one can take that away from me. For the first time, I felt truly free.